The 2023 NCAA men's basketball tournament technically kicks off tonight with the first four in Dayton, Ohio. It's like Christmas morning. With that and the picks coming on your brackets before they all go up in flames Thursday, we're diving through how I picked my brackets and doing something a little bit differently. Here's some tips. First, pick some upsets, but not too many. The key lines to look at for those: 12 over 5, 13 over 4, 11 over 6, and 10 over 7. 8-9 games, I'm sorry, those aren't upsets. I don't care. Don't put all four number one seeds in the Final Four. It's happened the exact same number of times that a 16 has beat a 1. Once. The only time all four number ones went to the Final Four, 2008. In fact, there is almost always a number one seed that misses the second weekend. There's also almost always one region absolutely loaded with upsets. That said, let's look at some of the upsets I picked in my bracket. Charleston over San Diego State. Charleston has not lost since February 2nd. Utah State over Missouri, another one that I've got. I also had in the East region both the 12 and 13 seeds advancing, with Oral Roberts upsetting Duke and Louisiana upsetting Tennessee. There's also almost always a double-digit seed in the Sweet 16. So I have Iona in the West, a 13 seed, upsetting UConn and St. Mary's to get to Las Vegas and face Kansas, and then obviously Oral Roberts I have beating Louisiana in the second round and on to the Sweet 16. Your Final Four, almost always a great team that's been great all season. But the last repeat champion was Florida in 2006 and 2007. So Kansas, out. I have the Jayhawks losing in the Elite Eight. Purdue, Xavier, Creighton, all also losing in the Elite Eight. Give me Bama, Marquette, and Houston, UCLA in the Final Four. And then in the final game of his college basketball broadcasting career, UH grad Jim Nantz calls his alma mater winning a national championship over Marquette at NRG Stadium in Houston. Now, on the women's side, the madness always there, although sometimes it's a little scaled back. There's always a much different outcome. For instance, UConn has made something like 14 straight Final Fours, so probably a safe bet to have the Huskies there. Dominant teams stay dominant, even in the new tournament format, with the women's tournament also expanding to 68 teams a year ago. Let's run through my women's picks and how I do them. First thing to keep in mind when filling out a women's bracket is that traditional powers typically stay pretty good in women's college basketball. Similar to high school sports, the best indicator of future success in women's college basketball is past success, even with the advent of the portal, although that has slightly affected some things. Second, it's very rare for the teams in the Elite Eight in a region to not be from the top 4 seed lines. And then coaching matters, and you will see what I mean with that. Although upsets aren't quite as prevalent, I still have a few in the women's game. Namely, I have 10 seed Princeton and 11 seed Middle Tennessee State both in the Sweet 16 of the tournament with a pair of upsets. I also have West Virginia upsetting Arizona. Yes, the same Arizona that played in the national championship game just 2 years ago. And then Florida Gulf Coast into the Sweet 16 with a win over Washington State. Remember when I said coaching matters? Here's a look at my Sweet 16 picks as well. Texas to the Sweet 16 along with, LSU. I also have sharpshooting Iowa State into the Sweet 16 alongside Virginia Tech, Ohio State, and UConn. You can see them here on your screen, we hope. And then keep in mind, South Carolina has gone wire to wire at number 1 in the AP Top 25, and then now to the Final Four. You see Matt Lively's picks here alongside mine. I have UConn back in, LSU for the first time under Kim Mulkey, South Carolina once again, and then led by sensational guard Caitlin Clark, the Iowa Hawkeyes. And then give me South Carolina over UConn in the national championship game. Hit us up on Twitter. Let us know your thoughts or your picks and enjoy the madness. As for the rest of it, we're going to see Matt Lively's grandma picks tonight. How do they pick in the NCAA tournament? And we'll start looking ahead to Baylor's game against Santa Barbara tonight. See you guys then. Have a terrific Tuesday.